Hey everybody, welcome back to Spec Word Fitness. Today I'm going to give you a little bit more on mental toughness. And what I want to cover first is something I heard from another SEAL on somewhere on the internet. He made a statement that anybody that says making it through SEAL training was easy is lying. There's some truth to that, but then there's a lot of false to that. Now look at it like running a marathon. If you and your buddy were going to run a marathon, you started training, you've been training for 6 months, and your buddy hates running, just absolutely hates it. It's hard to get him out there all the time to get out and do the runs that he's supposed to do to be able to prep for this. And you're out there every day, you're either doing your interval training that I told you to do, or your sprint training, or your long distance, slow distance running, the things that we prescribe, okay? And you just love the heck out of it. Or you're doing, your long distance runs, you've already ran almost a marathon anyway, so you just can't wait and you love it. So now you're out there on race day, you run it, and somebody comes up and they go, "Hey, you guys, what'd you guys think of the marathon?" And your buddy goes, "Oh, it was living hell. It sucked. I hated it." And you go, "What are you talking about? I loved it. It was great. Let's do it again." So see, it's all in your attitude and your prep and how you perceive it. So one thing about training, and I just got to throw this in here, if you're going to be one of these programs, Spec War programs, or Army Ranger, Green Beret, or just running a marathon, for example, be humble. Don't be cocky. Cocky can get you killed, okay, and stupidity too. So be humble, okay? When I went through SEAL training in my day, we were known as the silent warriors, okay? Nobody knew who we were. Actually, when I first met my first Navy SEAL, his name was Roberts, just like me. And I went up to him, he had a shirt on. I go, "What are you doing? What is all that on your shirt?" He goes, "Oh, I'm a Navy SEAL." I looked at him, I go, "Good for you. What the hell is a Navy SEAL?" Back in '77, nobody knew what they were. They didn't have every SEAL that went through training. Now I think the goal for a lot of guys, they make it through training, they're going to be able to start their own website or, write their own book or, hopefully go to Hollywood. It's not like it was in a day. Now me, actually, I made it through training because why? I wanted to work out every day and skydive. That was it. So this SEAL told me what to do. I put my head to it. I did it. And, the rest was history. I also had negative reinforcement all the time. People come up to me and go, "What are you going to do?" When I was in the Navy, "Where are you going from here?" "From this ship." I'm like, "I'm going to SEAL training. I'm going to be a Navy SEAL." "Oh, you can't do that. They're baby killers. Oh, only 1% make it." "Really, 1%? That's awesome. As long as somebody makes it, I will be that 1%. That was my attitude. You have to have confidence. Not cocky, but confidence. Now, let me tell you about an analogy. Again, just like doing marathons and that, it's all in your attitude. Now, people quit daily when they're going through any one of these pipelines. When it starts really hurting, you're doing some type of workout or PT, and you're really stressed out and you're hurting, so you feel sorry for yourself and you quit. Or just the anticipation, some instructor will sit there, you're doing, PT and you're carrying boats around or poles or whatever, and one instructor goes up to the other and goes, "Hey, Instructor Fred, hey, we just canceled the next evolution, so you got another 2 hours with these guys." Well, right away, like 3 of them will quit, and as soon as they quit, the instructor will go, "All right, put down your gear, break for lunch." And then those guys turn around and go, "Well, I could have made it." Well, you didn't. Why? Because that's the same thing, like if you're going to go for one of these programs and you have one of these programs where you're going to be under very stressful situations, i.e. maybe go to combat, you can't just lay down your whipping and quit and sit there like a little bitch, excuse my French, and not put rounds down range to help your team. And I know of a few guys that have done that, okay? And that's on them, that's okay to a point, as long as you're humble and you admit that it's not for you, and don't go around later trying to cover it up by trying to make it sound like you're the biggest badass in the world, okay? So again, be confident, be humble, but don't be cocky, okay? Now, back to the analogy. Let's say there's about 60 of you, and you're all in a row, and I'm asking all of you, okay, I'm gonna give you $100 million at the end of 6 months, and these are all guys. If the women want to do it, I'd hit them in the nose, okay, and get the same effect. I wouldn't break their nose, but I hit them hard enough to where, they'd be tearing up and, life would be bad. Okay, so guys, let's just say it's all guys for the analogy. I'm going to give you all a kick in the groins. How many of you would do it for $100 million? Well, almost everybody would raise their hand, except for those guys where mommy and daddy have been successful, made billions of dollars, like the Paris Hiltons of the world, where they get a $20,000 allowance every month. They'd be like, I don't need that. I got rich parents. Okay, good. Bye. Go away. Now, comes the first day, you go around and I start kicking people in the groins. And as I go, some of the guys are looking and they see that, hey, oh my gosh, I'm about three guys away from getting kicked in the groins. Now, hey, I quit. That's it. Now this isn't for me. I'm done. Okay, so they quit. A lot of guys will endure for a day or two, but then after a week or so, a lot more people are still dropping out like flies because, man, I'm done with this. I don't need money that bad. They come up with their second choice. If I need money, I'll go get a part-time job. I'll go get a loan. I'll work 3 jobs, whatever I got to do. But I'm not doing this kicking the groins every day for 6 months. No way. This is not for me. Done. Now, let's put another twist on the analogy. Think of the person that you love more than anything in the world. Somebody that if they were standing in the road and a semi was going to hit them, and the only way they're going to live is if you jump in front, push that person out of the way, knowing that you're going to die. Would you do that? I know I would. I would do that for anyone in my family. I would die for anyone in my family. Okay, so with that, now I'm going to give you $100 million for that kick in the groins every day for 6 months, and here's a reason you might want to do it. That person that we just talked about, that you thought about, that you love more than anything in the world, let's say that we're going to die in 8 months. Now, I'm only doing this for 6 months, and I'm going to give you $100 million. You need $10 million to save that person's life because the disease that they have is brand new, uncurable, and they think they can cure it, but it's going to cost $10 million. You can't go out and get a loan for that. You might have a property you could sell for your rich parents or something like that, but the normal person wouldn't have any resources to be able to make that kind of money. This is your number one resource. You're going to get kicked in the groins for 6 months to save that person's life. Would you do it? I know I would. I would do it. I'd take a kick in the groins every day for 6 months to save my family. Any one of them. All right? Now, what would you do if you quit? Say you made it for 5.5 months and you were just tired of it. And you're like, okay, I'm done with this, I quit. How would you feel now knowing and after the fact when that relative or friend or whoever died because you did not endure for 6 months, you did not get the $10 million and you were their only resource that could have saved their life? Wouldn't you go through life regretting it till the day you die? Thinking to yourself, I could have made it. I could have kept going. Why didn't I do it? Okay? That's exactly what it is with SEAL training and diver and EOD and air rescue and Army Rangers and Green Berets and Force Recon, even like doing a marathon or any other sport like that. You have to endure. You have to not focus on the pain unless it's one of those programs where they hurt you because they're doing crazy workouts that will hurt you, just for their little egos. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about something simple like this, okay? A kick in the groins every day. How hard is that? You stand there, you take it, okay? So you have to sit there and not think about what's coming the next day. Or say I gave you the weekend off. Monday we're going to start again. You can't think, oh, Monday we start all over again. You just have to focus on the activity that you're doing at that point. Nothing lasts forever, except death and taxes, okay? So nothing lasts forever. So take everything one activity at a time. And that analogy is getting a kick in the groins one day at a time, okay? But if you could do that for the time period, you're going to win. And I tell you what, folks, I know in my program, I can't talk about all the rest of them, but I know I've got buddies in all the rest of the programs. I got buddies that are marathon runners. I got buddies that were world-class mountain climbers that have done all these elite races and stuff like that. I'm talking about any program that you could do like that. You have to go above and beyond mentally and physically to endure and be able to make it. For example, if you're going through a military program, they're not going to kill you on purpose. They're not going to kill you. It costs way too much money. It's a lot of paperwork. You can do this. You can endure. So if you could take a kick in the groins every day for 6 months and then make it through training, are you willing to do that? You can't do it for, because it's a simple bet somebody made, or you can't do it because, hey, I just like to try it, or you can't do it because, well, I just want to prove to myself because I was beat up every day in high school and I never really did anything. So I just want to show people that I can do it. Okay, any reason can work, but it has to be a strong reason. Something to where the consequences of quitting are going to be too severe. Okay? And there are guys that have gone through our programs that, well, I just want to try it. Well, we don't like training guys like that, and we find you, we're going to get rid of you. You don't just try these programs. All right? And we're looking for the best of the best, but you're not going to know if you're one of the best until you do it. You got to get out there and do it. Give it a shot, but give it a shot with all you got. When I went through training, all I thought was, okay, they're going to put me on a deserted island for 6 months. I'm going to get my butt whooped for 6 months. And at the end of 6 months, I'm going to come out a Navy SEAL. Well, then I got to Coronado. I'm like, wow, this place is nice. You mean, there's a beach, and there's people on the beach. This is great. You know, yeah, I got beat up. Everybody gets beat up. But hey, I still got both arms, both legs, and I'm still here. And I live the most awesome lifestyle you could ever imagine. The camaraderie. As a matter of fact, I just met one of the guys that I trained 32 years ago in a Kansas City restaurant. I'm in a restaurant and here's this guy walking by and he's got a trident on his lapel and that stands out like a giant beacon. And I stand up and I put my hand out and he heard my wife say my name and he shakes my hand and he goes, Roger Roberts, you gave me my dive card. Class, I won't say what class he was in, but it was an earlier class. And that was 32 years ago. And it was so cool. We talked to each other. My wife gets blown away because we're talking to each other like we saw each other yesterday. Well, really, it's been 32 years since we've seen each other. We have that type of bond. If you want to live that type of bond, where people that will, if you're that guy or that person that is on the highway or something standing there and somebody's going to hit you, and the only way you're going to live is if we push you out of the way, we are that person that will cover your behind, that will help you, that will make sure that you are alive. So if you want these programs, you got to put everything you got into it. Hopefully that analogy will help. I've got more coming. Watch me on Spec War Fitness. I'm going to give you more mental toughness than you can shake a stick at. I'm going to make buds if that's what you're going for, or SWIC or diver, EOD or Army or recon or Green Beret or Force Recon, whatever it is, even running a marathon, I don't care. I'm going to make it a lot easier for you. How? One, watch all my techniques. My techniques go above and beyond kinesiology, okay? So follow my workouts and watch my mental toughness, and then when you quit, I'll be happy for you because it's your choice. When you sit there and you quit, you go, I'm going to go, why'd you quit? Well, an instructor made me. No, an instructor didn't make you do anything. You chose to quit. They try to intimidate you. They try to fool you into quitting and stuff. If you're dumb enough to do it, I'm happy for you because you weren't strong enough to make it through. You're not worth. You shouldn't be there anyway then. So I'm happy for you. It's your choice. If you quit, have fun with life. So again, specwarfitness.com. That's where you can find all my workouts. If you have any questions, you can go there. You can contact me, and I'll give you all the help you need. Have a good one.